We're making a really simple meal, just hamburger and strawberries and carrots today and ice cream for her lunch. So what I usually do is freeze a bunch of hamburger meat into small packets like this so that it's easier to defrost. And so I've already sprayed the pan with ham, and I'm just going to heat up her hamburger and put a little salt and pepper on it, which is free, a very tiny amount. Let that cook, and while that's cooking, I'm going to make the carrots. So what I do is just put them in the microwave, but I cut them really, really thin like this. I just use either regular carrots or pre-peeled carrots, and I cut them very, very thin. And I'm going to put a bunch of them in there and then measure it afterwards. And I just put a little bit of water in, put it in the microwave for 1 minute. So I'm going to give her raspberries instead of strawberries today. So I'm going to give her raspberries, and she had 14.5, so I've got this little plate here, and I put that onto the scale, and I'm going to zero it out, and I'm going to measure out 14.5 grams, which is part of her meal plan. And these are really big raspberries, so she gets a little under 3. I'm going to cut these up and make them a little bit smaller, and now I'll slice these in half to give the appearance of more. Is good. So is that still 14.5? Perfect. With this meal plan, Katie gets 10.4 grams of butter, and a lot of families have a tough time getting butter or the fat in their kids. What works for Katie is just melted butter with a little bit of sweetener in it. We use sweet and low and a little bit of cinnamon, and then we warm it up and she drinks it. It's kind of like a sweet treat for her. So I'm going to measure the butter. And I keep the butter on the counter so that it's always soft, a little bit easier to use. That's 8.6. There we go. 10.4. And we use sweet and low. A lot of families use stevia or other kinds of sweetener. A couple drops, and then I do just a dash of cinnamon, and then I'll stick that in the microwave for about 18 or 20 seconds. So the carrots, I'm going to measure in a separate bowl, or you can just measure them right on the plate. So again, zero everything out, and these are done. They've been in the microwave for 1 minute. And with this one, I'm going to do 22 carrots. I'm going to cut so thin, she actually gets a lot. So she loves the carrots. 22, I think partly because there's a lot of them. 22. And so we put a little bit of salt on them. And then I'll put a little bit of my melted butter. Once I melt this, I'll put a little bit of melted butter on that to make that really good. So look how many she gets when it's cut up that thin strips. So she gets really excited about that. My hamburger meat that I have here, and I'm going to zero it out here. And sometimes cut it up a little bit. Let's see. And then I'll cut that up really, really small. Hi.
You stepped on my feet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So with almost every meal, Katie gets cream, and what we do is we make it into ice cream. So we whip the heavy whipping cream with the coconut oil, and we freeze it, and we do it in big batches. So this is an example of a batch of ice cream that I made last night. So with this meal plan, she gets 25.2. So I just kind of pop these out, and I cut this one in half already to get to, that's 24. Let me add a little bit more in here. So here's my butter. I'm just going to put a little bit of butter on the carrots to make them a little bit tasty. And here's Katie's meal. Katie's hamburger meal with carrots, hamburger, raspberries, some butter, and some ice cream. And why don't I get you something to drink? What would you like to drink?
Lime.
Lime. Okay.
Yummy, yummy, raspberries.
And here's your lime keto Kool-Aid.
Thanks.
Yeah. And wherever possible, I like to make the similar meals. So this is Katie's twin sister, and she has the same exact food as Katie does for lunch.
Mm.